The son worked for a father who had essentially robbed him of his future. Alan's delusions of grandeur extended beyond his questionable business practices, as he constantly name-dropped celebrities who allegedly loved his food, yet could never provide a single verifiable example. The family dysfunction reached its peak when Alan's paranoia consumed him, as he became convinced that negative Yelp reviews were part of a conspiracy against his restaurant, while his wife Jen enabled his behavior and his son Daniel desperately tried to salvage both the business and his relationship with his parents. Gordon's attempts to mediate the family crisis proved unsuccessful, as the fundamental trust between father and son had been permanently shattered by financial betrayal and years of emotional manipulation.
I'm tired of this.
Third person constantly.
You get paid, he doesn't. There's no cash in the cash register.
Oh, do I get paid? Name it.
Jen gets paid.
Prove it.
Prove it. Go look at the
Go
books.
look at the checkbook.
Go and
Right
get the
now.
checkbook right now.
Yeah.
I have not been paid. I repay the loan.
No,
because
Jen
I
gets
no money
paid.
for my rent. And you've got 160,000
Jen has
in the
Pay
bank.
his rent with his own money that he makes.
How dare you lie? I've been off the salary already. Get the salary book.
However, despite Gordon's menu changes and operational improvements, the personal relationships were beyond repair. Burger Kitchen didn't last long and closed its doors in 2012. The family's tragedy continued long after the cameras left. Daniel married and sued his father for fraud after the restaurant closed, while Alan passed away due to a heart attack in 2020. Unlike the explosive family drama on Burger Kitchen, the Black Pearl's downfall came from a different kind of toxicity. Three business partners whose egos and incompetence created a perfect storm of failure that would make them Kitchen Nightmare's most ungrateful villains.
It became very frustrating around here. Brian and Greg and I stopped speaking. We would try to communicate via email and text messaging, and everybody got nervous and frustrated.
This place is a nightmare for the lack of management.
The owners, David, Brian, and Greg, were constantly at each other's throats, arguing over every decision and creating a toxic, confusing environment for the staff. Gordon's assessment of the trio was brutally accurate, dubbing them sleepy, dopey, and grumpy, as their complete lack of leadership and accountability had driven the restaurant into the ground. Gordon even worked tirelessly to restructure the restaurant's operations and improve the menu, but the owners' resistance to change and their inability to work as a cohesive team made progress nearly impossible. Many of the viewers criticized David for everything, with comments saying, "David was toxic. If you don't get rid of toxicity, it's game over. David's acting like a 5-year-old all episode." The most shocking betrayal came just 4 days after the episode aired, when the restaurant permanently closed and the owners immediately unleashed a barrage of insults directed at Gordon, publicly blaming him for their catastrophic failure and claiming his changes were the direct cause of a 50% drop in revenue that led to the closure. Their complete lack of accountability and willingness to blame Gordon for their own failures made the Black Pearl one of the most frustrating cases in Kitchen Nightmare's history. While the Black Pearl's owners lacked passion, others suffered from ignoring every single piece of advice they were given. In Season 6, Episode 15, Gordon met Chappie, the owner of Chappie's in New Orleans, a man stubbornly set in his ways. The place was filthy, with a walk-in fridge that became one of the most disgusting in the show's history.
Sell by 27th of February 2010. Expired 3 years ago.
Raw beef and cooked beef. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Shrimp. Just stuck there. Sat. Absolutely stinking.
Despite all this, Chappie's arrogance became clear from the very first moment, as he immediately dismissed Gordon's observations about the restaurant's many problems, choosing instead to insist that his own flawed vision was correct despite all the mounting evidence staring him right in the face.
Have you any idea how long a shrimp needs to stay inside the fridge to get that much mold on there?
I don't know what it is, where it was.
All night you're just deflecting.
This created a toxic dynamic where expert advice was repeatedly ignored in favor of nothing more than stubborn pride and a refusal to admit he was wrong. The restaurant suffered from fundamental, basic operational issues that any owner should have spotted, including poor food quality. And to quote, "The menu was also confusing. The waiting staff were ordered to recite 15 or 16 entries that weren't listed. The prices of the food increased more than 3 times in the evening as well." Gordon addressed these problems with specific, actionable solutions that Chappie promptly disregarded.
Okay.